Hey guys, back for round two. So my last, well, I guess technically four, not round two. My last video, I was a bit of a dunce and said that it dropped a tarnished Midas lens, and it totally does not. Told you how much sleep I'm kind of running on. Does not drop tarnished Midas lens. So I'm actually gonna kind of F off on that one, and I'm just gonna go do. I'm gonna go do these for the accessories. If I get the lens, I get the lens. If I don't, I don't. I'm not gonna be super upset. You know, I do need the accessories. I need those for my white mage, level 58 now. Still probably gonna be playing some Magic this week, so may not get 60 this week during the week. I got some stuff to catch up on from work, and then going over to Birmingham from Atlanta on Thursday for one of my college best friends' wedding. Congratulations to her. It should be a good time. See some people I haven't seen in a hot minute. So first timer. Extra Essos, that's fine. Don't look at boss directly in the eyes. Yeah, that's funny. So I bet this guy probably wants to main tank. If he wants to main tank, I'll just. So one thing that you can do in this dungeon, there, this Midas cube specifically is, you know, some people, they find it difficult to single tank this, just because the wind up punch. I'm not sure what the actual move's name is. The tank buster just does a lot of damage if you're not geared very well, which, as it turns out, this other guy is. He's got a little bit better than me. He's got two. Let's see, he's got 2 more pieces of 230 gear than I do. It's got the hands and the feet, and I don't. I've got the. Okay, that's kind of weird. I've got the legs, body, head, and a ring, and a shield. Yeah, I don't think that really counts. I don't know. I wonder why this guy's not trying to be paid on both. Just kind of assumed he would. But one thing you can do is, instead of switching after the first tank gets concussed, if you have a paladin off tanking, you can just cover the other tank, and then you'll just take the damage, which usually works out pretty well. So I'm let's see if that's what he wants to do. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that that's probably is what he wants to do. You know, switching back and forth is kind of it's a pain in scoring mode. There's not really a super compelling reason to. You know, the overall strength of these mobs. If your tanks are geared well, the overall how these bosses compare to your tanks is just not all that different. So you can afford to. Come on, dude! I'm trying to get like 5 stacks. Okay. You know, when you got the good gear, you can afford to just single target it. So, you know, I just floated the idea of just gonna cover him and just concussed. I'm not actually gonna vote. And that should let us get this done quicker. These Midas fights are really quite fun. You know, they're all good tests of skill. This one's pretty good. The second M2 A6, whatever, you know, however you want to call it. I'm not a huge fan of that one. It's just it's just a pain in the ass. It's not. I mean, it's easy. It's easy. You know, it's mini bosses basically, 4 mini bosses. It's just, it's not fun. It takes pretty long. You know, it's just not what you want to have fun doing. Gotta watch. All right, gonna cover him. I'm gonna approach Sheltron. What a great name for a move, Sheltron. You or Sarah need to do. This guy's real competent. He's doing a great job. And man, this Plick guy, I love this guy. He hasn't even, I've never met him before, never done anything with him. But the first thing he did is he came in and told us, hey guys, this is my first time. That's awesome. And then he comes in, he's like, asking questions. He's actively like, he wants to know what the right way to do this is. And so many people don't do that now. Either they don't come in prepared, or they're just unwilling to ask questions. You know, whatever it is. That makes it hard as a group to get it done. You know, let us know that you're new. You know, let people know, hey guys, this is my first time doing this. Any tips or anything? You know, really, hopefully you've watched a video, or at the very least just read about the encounter, so that you know. Dude, getting fucked. Okay, these people have no idea what's going on. This is bad beats. Bad beats. Okay. Full vanish. You know, well, it vanished because you didn't do it fast enough. I'm about to croak. About to bite the big one. Hey, the other guy. Oh. I have no idea who. Oh, Summoner. Summoner has hate. Kind of doubt we're going to recover from this, but people have, the other tanks are picking up the ads. So we'll see. Gotta pay attention, man. You gotta pay attention to what the boss is casting, because he doesn't really. The animation when he does boost is the same animation he does when he does Tank Buster. And you know, if you know the fight, then you know that the boss does. He rotates, right? So he does the Tank Buster. Yeah, this is bad beats. He does the Tank Buster, and then he turns into a little goblin, and then he grows up, and then he does boost, and then he starts just beating the shit out of the ground, and then he goes shrinks back down. And so when he gets back up after this, that bomb's about to explode, about to all get just super dead. They're also hitting the bombs in weird directions. Nobody left raise. this person could raise. I'm not sure I like this crawler person. I'm just not paying attention. But this is fine. I think this is a fundamentally sound group. So the other thing is, I'm just gonna type out a few pointers for this guy. Okay, someone left. 2 people left. Healer left. That's fine. That the other healer was the one that was not being super proactive. Oh man, this is unfortunate. Well, this is fine. This click guy. Just gonna go ahead and leave. Be that guy. Yeah, you know, he did a good thing by being proactive, and then everyone else, that was not his fault. That was everyone else's fault because they were not paying attention. You know, they were waiting too long to hit the bombs. 4 people, man, 4 people didn't turn into birds because they weren't paying attention to the boost. And then. Yeah, the bombs is the big thing. You know, you don't need both healers. You only need one person doing bombs, especially towards the beginning when there's only 1 bomb, 2 bombs. I'm not sure how that works. Like if it's every time it gets an additional bomb. I think the most I've ever seen is 4. That could definitely be wrong. Oh man, this tank's got 27k HP. Yeah, they got it going on. Fiona, my love. Sweet baby Jesus. So, you know, we'll just do the cover thing again. But this, you know, this should be fine. The key is, guys, you know, do yourself a favor and do everyone else a favor. Like, don't come into this with your objective being to get carried. You know, these things go so much faster if you'll just pay attention. You know, don't come into a queue thinking, I'm just not going to pay attention. Don't be that guy. You know, that hurts everyone. And you see it's 12 a.m. On Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. You know, just got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Had it on sale at Fry's, in addition to my other ones that are in there. So, you know, just recording my first video, and we'll throw it up on YouTube and see if anyone likes it. You know, but how are you going to come in here at midnight on a Sunday, even if Monday is a holiday? You know, I know a lot of people work. You know, not everyone has the luxury of having all these holidays off. You know, I recognize that I'm pretty fortunate to have a job in general and to have a job that's as flexible as mine is. So not everyone is that lucky. You know, and but that being said, it's midnight on the East Coast. How are you going to come into this and just not pay attention? You know, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting everyone else's time. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Shake your finger. But this group seems good. Seems solid. Good heals. So I know everyone knows. You know, the bird is the word. Everyone knows, but this whole missing the mind thing because you don't have a white mage sucks so much. You know, that really kind of puts a pinch for your healers. You know, it's just not a good time. So your healers got to be good. These guys they look pretty good. They look pretty decent. Sweet succubus horns. It's good stuff. Kind of looks like C2 CC from Code Geass a little bit. Not sure if that's what they were going for, but I've actually played a female Mithra for Mikote for a very long time. That's just, you know, just one of those kind of guys. But I also really like the Rogadins. I really like Kalkas and 11. And I'm super thankful that you have the ability to just, you know, try something out. So try something different out in this game for, you know, the low price of $10. Head on over to the Square Enix store. I think that you can also buy. I think you can also buy Fantasias on the market board. Maybe. Is that right? I would know. I don't ever actually have money to carry around. Not about that life. But dude, lost my train of thought. Oh man, good guy. Good guy. Healer knows what's going on. That was my bad. I didn't realize it was cover number on me until close to when it was about to be cast. So I, should have. Yeah. People gonna get boosted. We're gonna get boosted. There we go. Bird is the word. Let's see. Everyone turned into a bird, except for the ninja. How's that go? LOL ninja. Good times. Good times. Good. That's good, clean family fun there. I liked it in 11. That ninja was, a good tank, and in 14, it's excellent DPS when played correctly, but pretty mediocre when it's not, which, is true of everything, I guess. But it. Okay. Other person's main tanking at the gobbledygook groper. This thing is haunting. That is just haunting. It's like a. I guess, I'm sure that's the point, but it's just like a goblin chimera. It's just creepy to look at. This person needs some loving. Doing some clemency. Kid Kiraga. I love clemency. It's one of my favorites. Favorite parts of this game, for sure. You know, a lot of people in 1.0, or not 1.0, 2.0, kind of pissed off. I think in 1.0, I didn't play, but I think in 1.0 Paladins had a direct heal like that, and then in 2.0 they just didn't get it. So I think a lot of people are kind of upset about that. Hey, look who didn't get the bird again. Got a few pieces of torrent here. Oh, got all that. Got all of that, all that void arc. I mean, I've done void arc because I've got all of the youth. Good. Got it out of his hits. AF3 gear. Although I suppose, can you get that from Centurio seals? Maybe. So maybe they just did a bunch of those. I'm not even sure you can. I know in the past you've been able to. Alright, let's see what kind of night it's going to be. See how it's going to go. 1 bolts. How about I roll a 27? Okay. Still probably not going to clip, but that's fine. That's the bad beats. Yep, didn't get it. Kid Kiraga rolled an 89 and I rolled an 88! Ah! Okay. Number 3. Number 3. Still haven't done expert either. Man. Oh, kind of want to just do expert to get the lore. Need 200 more lore. Yeah, I'm just gonna go do expert. Get that done. You know, get 75 lore towards my cap. Hopefully, I can get my Dark Knight weapon this week. I'll be pretty happy about that. Man, Lost City. I hate Lost City. 2 monks. So, no big pulls. Are all 3 of these people new? No, Midnight Soren is the... No, this person they got it going on. So, big thing is just... I'm sure most people that end up watching this have done this dungeon. 3 bosses. We've gone through this before. You know, the most complicated boss, honestly, is probably the first one. It does that neurosquama move, which kind of sucks. But all you got to do is just run to the edge of the stage and turn away. You know, I mean, that's literally all you have to do. And then you know, you don't. That's the only mechanic you have to worry about. Now, you know, it's 2-month party. I'm not gonna pull. You know, a lot of people, myself included, that, you know, you tend to. So the first pull you're kind of forced into, right? So you have to kill these 4 mobs. I suppose you don't have to kill the beetle, but you have to kill the crawlers before the gate will open. And you know, most people in this dungeon, they're just, after you get the gate open, you're just going to pull everything down to the eggs, kill the mobs that come with the eggs, and just kind of YOLO swag, you know, just kill everything. Because we have 2 monks, you know, not exactly the best AoE. Probably not going to do that. Probably going to do smaller pulls. It should probably just work out being faster. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely ignorant and that's wrong. If that's wrong, you know, please, by all means, let me know if you think that's the incorrect choice in the comments below. I think it's probably actually easier than Anti-Tower. I don't enjoy this one. Like, coming in here just reminds me of the, you know, the end of 2.0's Expert, and then just the Lost City in general, I think is just one of my least favorite dungeons. That's just not fun, man. But it's a good, easy dungeon. You know, I mean, it's not difficult. Honestly, like I really do think that the hardest part of this dungeon is just getting to the first boss and killing the first boss. You know, this is a lot. It's almost, you know, it's basically the patterns of the mobs that spawn is actually pretty similar to the Anti-Tower. In fact, I mean, I would go so far as to say that it's basically the same. You know, you've got when you go in, except maybe flip-flop, right? So, you know, you come in here, you've got this first really big pull, huge pull. Really not even flip-flop, not even the same order at all, but there's three distinct big pulls, right? So there's the first big pull after you come in with all of these guys where you can just pull the whole thing. And that's basically like, you know, after you beat the first boss in the Anti-Tower, after you beat the frog, and you're going to run down to fight the dust bunny riding up on a giant rock. I'm still not really sure that I understand what all that's about. But that's the big pull. That's the big pull, you know, and that's a DPS check and a healer check, straight up. You know, people are just going to be bads. You can't pull all of them because you will just straight up die. And that's what this first pull here is. You know, you pull after that. You pull the 2 munchkins, the crawler, all that stuff. You pull it straight down here, the scarab beetle, and you just go straight over to the eggs, man. And those, you know, those eggs, you go over the eggs, you start killing them. 2 butterflies spawn. And then 2 more butterflies spawn. And then 2 more butterflies spawn. And so if you don't have the really awesome DPS, you know, by the time all those butterflies spawn, you probably haven't killed all the other mobs. In addition to all the butterflies. In addition to, you still got whatever finishes left on the eggs. Like, once you start attacking the eggs, you gotta commit to killing the eggs. You know, and it's risky business. And that's what that pull, those 2 pulls are between the first boss and the second boss, the Anti-Tower, right? So you pull the first, you know, there's 2 mimic chests. You pull the mimic, and there's 2 of them. You pull it down the steps, and there's a dust bunny, and it spawns the fire elementals, fire sprites, until you kill the dust bunny. Okay, so you kill all that stuff, and then you go do the huge pull. You pull the three Marrowlith, massive Marrowlith, and the 2 smaller ones. You got to pull those down, and you know, depending on the composition of your party, most people are just they're gonna pop them up. You know, they're laying a pile of stones on the ground, so you walk up to them and they stand up. You know, most people, they're going to let those guys wake up and then, you know, flash them and then run off and get the next mob down. And that's an ass load of mobs to kill. Okay, I got caps lock on. Just remind these people about neurosquama. And you gotta be wary of that, you know, and that's how the first set of pulls leading up to the first boss is here. After this first boss, we've got another pretty big pulls going from here down to the Sphinx guy who is cut in stone, and you know, when you get to that point, it's just kind of pulling a few distinct sets of mobs. And again, that's kind of like the pull between the second boss and the third boss of Anti-Tower, where it's split up some. It's gated a little bit more, but even though it's gated, you know, you're doing larger pulls. You're doing a couple of groups of fairly decently sized pulls, and you get to that second boss, and then you just kill the second boss. And then between the second boss in Lost City and the third boss, you've got three gated distinct pulls. You know, you pull the stone beasts, the stone beasts. You pull the stone statues. I don't know what the appropriate word is. Guardians. And then you pull the three pots. And those pots are annoying, man. Man, that's not a lot of fun. You can tell I'm getting tired because I'm having trouble keeping my dots up from not paying attention. You know, and you pull those, and that's a lot like the first pull in the Anti-Tower, where you've got three distinct pulls and they're all gated. You know, you can't do big pulls. You have to pull one set, and to get to the second set, you have to kill the first set. To get to the third set, you have to kill the second set. So, you know, these are more or less, it's basically the same trash-wise. It's literally the same dungeon. You know, back in 2.0, the difference between Amdapor Keep Hard and Wanderer's Palace Hard and Keeper of the Lake was those were three very distinct different dungeons. You know, the trash for each one of those things was pretty different. The boss fights are obviously different. You know, boss fights usually are when you get to this stage of the game. So that's why I'm kind of disappointed in this. You know, I didn't do expert when I wasn't really playing much when expert was. I guess it was Fractal Continuum and Neverreap. I've never actually completed Neverreap, I don't believe. But so I don't know how similar those were. But in 2.0, the expert dungeons at the end of 2.0 were all very diverse. And right now, they're just not. You know, I mean, it's basically the same dungeon. Maybe the bosses are different, but you know, the context, when you look at the pattern of the dungeon itself, it's very similar. You know, maybe the pulls are mixed around, but by and large, it's the same trash, it's in the same packs, in the same pulls, and just, you know, oh, the end of this one is like the beginning of Anti-Tower. You know, so it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's kind of lazy. That's just like my opinion, man. That's not to disrespect Square Enix at all. I love Square Enix. So many of my friends are people that I've, you know, met playing 11, playing 14. Although most people I know in 14 are people that I knew when I played 11. You know, so they've done an excellent job building the community, and there's a lot to be said for that. But at the same time, like, you know, you can't expect all these people to be, you know, we're 100% just gonna follow you where you, oh captain, my captain, you know, kind of thing, because they see you being boring. If they see you being lazy with things, and you know, they're like, oh, you know, how much do they really care? So, you know, that's what I think they have to be careful of. So, you know, constructive criticism, right? That's always good. I think they're doing a phenomenal job with this. I really enjoyed 2.0. I'm really enjoying 3.0. It's really good. You know, it's solid. See, my graphics are kind of, I mean, they're good. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say they're bad, because I've played bad. And these are not bad graphics, but they could be better. I recently upgraded my. So I built this out as kind of like a budget computer that I could play Final Fantasy on. But before, I was playing it on my PS4 and a laptop, which neither of which is, you know, something that you really. If you can afford to not have to do it that way, then you're gonna. Most of the time, people are gonna choose not to do it that way. I did. But I started out as a budget build, and as I've, made more money at my job, feel more comfortable with my job, and spending the money that I make, you know, I've this past few weeks I've been able to upgrade my computer, which is awesome. So before I had a AMD FX 6300, so it's a 6-core AMD processor. Not a bad cheap processor. I think I got the processor bundled with it was an Asus motherboard. It was like a micro ATX motherboard. For both of them, it was like $100, maybe $110. So not ultra awesome. It has 8 gigs of DDR3 1333 megahertz memory. So in the past month, I have been able to spend some money I've saved, and I've upgraded my computer quite extensively. At first, I was just going to swap out the motherboard and the processor. The motherboard, bundled motherboard with the last one. That was a mistake. That was 100% not a good idea. I'm sure it's the flower of 5 years ago's technology, but I should have spent $50 buying a not complete garbage motherboard, but I didn't. So that was my first objective, was to, update that as well as the processor. And I really do like AMD. I really do. I know that's ignorant, whatever, but it is what it is. But that being said, I did kind of cave to the pressure, and I was planning on upgrading to a 4th gen processor, and I ended up upgrading to the current gen because the new architecture of the processor allows it to make use of the DDR4 memory, which is which is what people are moving towards. And so I was only planning on upgrading the motherboard and the processor. Motherboard and the processor turned into, I'm gonna spend $220 upgrading motherboard processor to I'm gonna spend $280. And if I get this kind of motherboard with this kind of processor, my DDR3 memory is not going to work. It only supports DDR4. So I've got to buy that now. So that was $100 for. I got Corsair Vengeance, LPX 2666 megahertz memory. Great stuff. Plugged it right in and immediately worked. Highly recommend it. and the motherboard I got can support up to, I think, the 3666. I think is what the high end one is. I'm not sure. But I didn't want to spend that much money. I didn't want to spend $300 on memory. So I bought that. I bought a Gigabyte Z15, I think Z170X5 motherboard, which was $180, marked down to $140, which was further marked down with the mail-in rebate down to $110. Down to $120. And Micro Center, love me some Micro Center. They actually, these people are all dying because I don't have an EMP. They actually just took off how much for the mail-in rebate. They were like, oh, we'll go ahead and just take it off, so you don't have to do it. But they still gave you the mail-in rebate, so I mailed it in and got another $20 off. Pretty sweet. And the whole reason I got that motherboard was to support the new gen processor I got. So I got an Intel i5 6500K. So the Skylake, I think is what it is. Architecture. Wow, I don't know what the heck's going on here. And so far, man, this has all been great. And I put all this. I got all this new stuff, and I threw it in my case I already had. And it's a Cooler Master N400, I think, is what the model number is, something like that. And man, that's a great case. That's a great entry level case. Like I cannot recommend it enough. But that being said, like, this was some good looking computer product, computer hardware. And once I got it installed and I was looking at it before I closed it back up, and it's solid on both sides. The case I had was solid on both sides, mesh front. It's like, man, this stuff's it just looks too good to just put it in a case and not where you can't see it. So then I upgraded the case, and I got an NZXT. NZXT, I think it's the N400. And man, guys, I'll do a vid sometime of just showing off my build. It's not anything special, definitely not anything special, but it's the first one that I did myself, kind of late to that game, but I'm pretty proud of it, and happy. Really happy with it now. And to kind of get back to the whole reason why it's up, my graphics. The last thing that I need to upgrade are the graphics. And I'm waiting. So right now I've got an AMD R9 270. I think I paid like $250 for it. That was by far the most expensive piece of hardware that I bought when I built the computer originally. So at this point, I guess when it comes down to it, it's really almost like a completely new computer. The only thing I kept was my Samsung Evo SSD. Really, highly recommend that. It's great hard drive. Kept that, kept the power supply, kept all my peripherals. I've got a LG, I don't know what the model number is, but 27-inch IPS LED screen that I bought for work when I lived in Texas, because they were pretty stringy, it's not even a word, stingy with purchasing updated stuff for us. So I just like, okay, YOLO, I'll just buy my own. And then when I moved back from Dallas to Atlanta, they did actually buy us some new stuff. So I just, took my new computer, or my new screen home, and have used it at home ever since. And it's fantastic. And I've also got an Asus 24-inch screen, which came really highly recommended to me by a lot of people, like close personal friends, as well as basically the entire internet. And I've been so disappointed with it. It is just not a good screen. Like, it does not even hold a candle to the LG screen. Which, I don't know. It's not a big deal. I don't actually play 14 on that screen. I play it on my LG one. Usually a lot of the time I'm just watching Netflix or something. But it's just, it's a great setup, and I'm proud of it. So I saved the screens, saved my keyboards, my peripherals, keyboard and mouse. Big Razer fanboy. It's good stuff. I'm rocking the Razer Naga Epic Chroma and the Razer Black Widow Ultimate keyboard, not Chroma. Bought it. My parents got me the keyboard for Christmas a couple years ago. Right before Razer started releasing all their Chroma stuff, and it's just not worth it to me to go back and spend $190 on a new keyboard when I've got a perfectly good one that's still an excellent keyboard right now, reuse all that stuff. Logitech H920, I think, is the model number of this webcam. And the only reason I bought this is Target had them marked way down for they were on clearance, and they were like $30. And it's one that we have in my office that we use for the video conferencing. That it's pretty good. It's pretty good for that. So tried and tested, and it's pretty good. I don't know how great the microphone is on it. That's probably something else that I want to invest in. I think I probably also need to get an actual video capture card and not just capturing the video straight on the computer. But other than that, solid setup. I have speakers. I don't ever plug them in. I'm not into that kind of stuff. And my roommate, he's not super into the video games. At least not MMOs. He does play a lot of video games, just not not what we're sitting here playing. And that's fine. That's to each their own. There's absolutely no way I'm going to sit here at night on a Sunday that's not a holiday weekend and sit here talking and everything like this, because it's pretty rude, I think. But you know, the last thing I need is a graphics card, and the embargo on the 1070 specs for, God, I don't know where I'm going. The embargo on the specs for the 1070 from all the other partner providers, you know, Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, Zotac. I think Zotac's been getting better graphics cards for a while now. That's all lifted tomorrow. So, you know, we'll sit here and see. I think MSRP for the NVIDIA 1070 is supposed to be $379.99, which, you know, I'm willing to. You know, I don't know about that for like. I don't know about that for. What I'm trying to say here. I don't know that I'd spend that much for an EVGA one, but you know, I'd throw down $380 for that for an Asus or a MSI. I hear really mixed things about MSI from a lot of people. I hear that their customer service is really terrible, and then from a lot of other people that I trust, I hear that their customer service is great. I've never actually had any MSI products, you know, but I'm sure they're probably fine. Yeah. Oh man, I hate this boss fight. This just drags on forever and ever and ever, ever and ever. And when I occasionally do this on Ninja instead of, you know, Dark Knight or Paladin, it's like the tank doesn't even bother pulling it out of the region, and you know, a quarter of the time you end up dying because it's a new healer and they can't heal through it, and it's terrible. Don't do that. Or you get people who don't kill the ads, you know, on the third phase. It's just terrible. It's not good. Bad beats, as the Magic community likes to say. But this part, you know, that's one of the reasons I tank, because you know I don't want to do stuff like that. Oh look, region. Pulled it out of region. Tier 4, run away from it. Jump on it. Jump on it. And that song in Who Let the Dogs Out. My high school were the North Gwinnett Bulldogs, and they were all about that Baja Boys or Bahama Boys or whatever their name was. You know, after like every single play of football games. Who let the dogs out? Oh my god, shut up. Don't give a fuck. So annoying. It was being a little kid. That was when I was in middle school that they would do that. So that was like I was 12. But oh my goodness, you know, it was cool for like the first little while they did it, but then it's like, oh my god, please kill me now. And it turned off. That's fine. That's fine. The other thing I don't get are tanks that don't use dark side, which I may or may not have been doing all night. You know, it's unsurprising for me to criticize on the one hand and then make fun of on the other hand, and then do the things I was making fun of people for on the other hand. But I'm still going to pull it out of the region, because that's how I roll. For being new, these guys are doing pretty well. pretty easy to die on this if you're not paying attention, like now. So close to being able to go to bed. So tired. Oh shit, what up? It's that boy. Nice. Let's see, how much did that do? I don't know. Who knows? Say thanks, guys. Great party. Because I can't spell. Dude, you see that rubber band lag? That's it telling me that I need to go to bed. Well, hey guys, you know, I hope at least one person watches this video. You know, thanks for stopping by. It's my first foray into this. I'll be doing it a lot more. You know, in the meantime, I'm gonna go to bed. 85 seals away from getting my greatsword. So expert plus Midas, you know, whatever, for trial. Actually, you know, I'm gonna go do trial right now. YOLO. Now, if Bismarck or Yvonne, I'm just gonna drop. I'm gonna be that guy. Not about that life. Less than 5 minutes. I'll give it to 1 minute before I go to bed. But you know, this has been a lot of fun. Coming up on an hour now. You know, I'm sure nobody's going to watch this video all the way through, but it's been a good time just talking, you know, and you know, hopefully one day my internet will be not so shitty that I can't stream. You know, I'd love to be on Twitch and interacting with people as I'm doing this. So we'll get there one day. But in the meantime, trials took longer than a minute, so I'm just going to head on down to the ye old inn and hit the sack. Going to hit the mender first because I'm terrible at remembering to mend my stuff. Summed into a dungeon a while ago last week, and you know, I think I was on Paladin, so I sit at about 24.5k HP, something like that, when I'm in a party, the HP bonus and everything, and I had like 17k HP. I was like, WTF, mate? And then I realized that I did not repair my stuff. But I'm going to exit game, and I would like to go to sleep. Weird to me that they go to sleep in their armor, but, you know. Well, anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to hit the sack. Good night.